Breeders dreaming. They won it by 4 in the end.
American Anthem has taken off. American Anthem easily in the Woody Stevens.
Hi everybody and welcome to Spa Babies presented by WinStar Farm. I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo, and let's take a look at the field for Saturday's Spa Baby race. It is a barn burner of a maiden special weight for 2-year-olds carded as race number 5. We will kick off the pick 6, and WinStar Farm is well represented by the number 2 Homebred Super Sermon by WinStar Stallion Super Saver and the 9 Bourbon Currency by Speightstown. Nicole will begin down towards the inside with the number 1 Want, a colt with racing experience by a young stallion. Tell us a little bit about New Year's Day.
Sure. Well, New Year's Day, of course, a very well-bred horse by Street Cry. He's a half-brother to Mahayman. New Year's Day won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Of course, you'd expect him to be a nice juvenile sire, but, you know, we've got to keep in mind that he started coming along toward the end of that 2-year-old season, and as the distances got a bit longer. So I'm not that concerned by the fact that he doesn't have that many winners yet. Street Cry has turned out to be a decent sire of sires. We'll expect to see these horses continue to develop, and I think that's definitely the case with Want. Finished 4th on debut at Ellis, which has kind of a sneaky good 2-year-old program. Want broke in the air, raced 5 wide, finished kind of evenly. He's stretching out here to be from 5 furlongs to 7 furlongs. That'll probably help him. Ron Moquet's runners usually do better with a little bit of experience. He's picking up Jose Ortiz. I think there's a lot of things to like about this horse at a little bit of a price.
As we take a look at the pedigree card for the number 1 Want, the $32,000 buyback as a weanling, you will notice some turf names in this pedigree. He is a half to the multiple Grade 2 Stakes Place Sky Blazer. Mills like to go long, and the Dam really related to several turf horses. So the extra distance should help. Do you think a surface switch down the road would do this horse some good?
I think this is probably one who's going to benefit from a surface switch down the road. But in this particular case, I don't think running on the dirt is going to hurt him, especially with some wet weather in the area. The track might still be holding a little bit of moisture on Saturday. That sometimes helps some of these turf-type pedigrees.
Let's take a look at the pedigree card for the number 2 Super Sermon. This is our WinStar Homebred by WinStar Stallion Super Saver. And when you think of Super Saver as a racehorse, you think of a stout horse that would really want to go a long distance of ground, but he has sired some fast runners, including some precocious 2-year-olds.
Yeah, he has. From his first crop, he had the Grade 1 Hopeful Winner Competitive Edge. He has another 2-year-old graded winner, and I Spent It. And, of course, very fast horses. His best runner to date is the champion sprinter Run Happy. So Super Saver can definitely put some speed in a horse. The Dam a half to Grade 2 winner High Limit, who is also a very quick horse who could carry that a route of ground. This one looks to have inherited that speed. He's got some very sharp works, followed by what looks like a maintenance move in his last work before his debut here. Todd Pletcher, Johnny Velasquez, you've got to think this one is formidable.
Very logical. The number 2 Super Sermon, considering the pedigree and the connections. The number 3 is Tweeter in Chief by Graydar. This is a young stallion, and his foals have impressed thus far.
Yeah, he's a young and bridled song stallion, Grade 1 winner himself. I liked what I saw from Graydar's first weanlings, first yearlings coming to the sale. They're kind of stout, very physically impressive horses. He hasn't had that many runners yet to really kind of evaluate, but I'm really curious to see what they do. And Tweeter in Chief from a phenomenal female family. The Dam's a half to champion Birdtown. This family usually wants longer. So I'm wondering how this one's going to run here, but it's a terrific page.
Classic Mary Lou Whitney family. Of course, Birdstone won 3 important Grade 1 stakes races. The Champagne at 2, the Belmont and Travers at 3. Birdtown, no slouch in her own right. 2-time Grade 1 stakes winner, Kentucky Oaks winner. Ian Wilkes runners usually need a race or 2. They want to win for Mary Lou Whitney, I would think, at Saratoga. This is a horse at a big price that could at least get a piece of this and maybe make your single race exotics.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the work tab on this one does show some sharp works, looks a little bit cranked up, even though Ian Wilkes, they do usually need a start or 2, as you mentioned. So this one might be the exception at a bit of a price.
Let's take a look at the pedigree page for the number 4, First Warrior. This horse cost a bundle as a yearling, $410,000, and has some precocity and speed on the bottom of the pedigree.
Yeah, definitely. The dam First Passage won the Grade 3 Azalea sprinting. She's already the dam of a Grade 3 place juvenile in Burned. The Melnick female family that this one comes from includes horses like Grade 1 winning sprinter Harmony Lodge, by the good 2-year-old sire Warfront, so no weaknesses there. This one was an April foal and then sold for $410,000 as an August yearling, so that indicates to me a bit of an early developer. Nice horse.
Solid workouts for trainer Kieran McLaughlin, who can certainly fire with a first-time starter. Let's look at the pedigree notes for the number 5, Bo Reddy, who made his career debut on turf for Wayne Lucas. Didn't run very well, but now switches to dirt, a $57,000 buyback as a yearling. Let's talk about Oxbow as a young stallion, of course, a Preakness winner. I would think dirt will be okay for this one.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that's where this one's going to find his home. This is the first crop for Oxbow, who's from a terrific sire-making family. He's from the family of Tisnow, another freshman sire from this family out there this year in Painter. Kind of a little bit later developing family. The runners from these sires tend to like distance. So again, Oxbow is another one where I'm not all that, critical of him not having that many winners at this stage. I think these are going to be horses who come along a bit later.
I have a feeling a colt that's going to attract a lot of attention in this race is one of 2, trained by Chad Brown. That's the number 6, Variant Perception. And as we look at our pedigree notes, this is just a tremendous page.
I mean, there's classic ability on both sides of the page by a young classic sire in Curlin, and of course, an amazing start to his stud career. The statistic we always quote, a classic winner or classic placed runner from each of his crops to race. The dam of Variant Perception has produced 3 stakes placed runners, but underneath there, this dam is a half to AP Indy, Summer Squall, so many good horses in this family. This one, Variant Perception, strikes me as a legitimate distance classic horse down the line, but the classy ones can win early and going shorter too.
That's a good point. This is a 6-furlong race, and just looking at this horse's pedigree, you would be very excited to see what he can do when he gets a chance to stretch out around 2 turns eventually. But he does seemingly have everything it needs to take to win first time out. You've got Chad Brown and Javier Castellano, you've got that beautiful pedigree, and you have some very impressive workouts. Our clockers have been taken by what they've seen from the 6, Variant Perception. Not to be outdone, Chad also has the 7, Allured, who only sold for $600,000 earlier this year. As we take a look at his pedigree page, this horse might be more precocious than the 6, Variant Perception, from a pedigree standpoint.
I think so. Flatter comes from the AP Indy sire line, but he's one of those that can throw a very quick horse. He's got the good sprinters out there like Taurus, Kobe's Back. Even Flat Out was, brilliant enough to win the Grade 1 Cigar Mile. This one is $600,000 2-year-old, breezed in 10 2/5, which is, solid. The dam has produced 2 stakes placed runners. If you're looking at the Chad Brown horses, this one's definitely going to offer the better value.
Some quick workouts on the number 8, Avery Island, another one trained by Kieran McLaughlin. This is a Godolphin homebred by Street Sense. Looking at this pedigree page, though, I wonder if this horse might want a little more distance.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of international classic ability underneath. The second dam was a horse of the year in Chile. Avery Island by Street Sense, another Derby winner out of an AP Indy mare who has one winner by Street Cry, Street Sense's sire. So it's a cross that works. This is another one, though, that you might want to look at if the weather hangs around on Saturday. Street Sense, a lot of his better runners have loved this law.
Number 9 is Bourbon Currency, and all summer long here on Spa Babies, we've discussed how experienced horses seem to have the edge over first-time starters, especially over this sort of quirky Saratoga racing surface. Bourbon Currency, I thought, ran a sneaky decent race. As we take a look at his pedigree notes, he is by WinStar Stallion Speightstown, sold for $260,000 in April. Classy enough pedigree on the bottom, to be sure. Thought he was up against a speed-favoring track in his debut, little traffic down towards the inside. I think he gained a lot out of that race, and he could offer some value.
Well, that's definitely a good point about the possible speed bias on his debut. We know he's got some speed being by the good WinStar Stallion Speightstown champion sprinter. This one was a $260,000 2-year-old in April, breezed in 10 flat, solid time. He's definitely got the speed if he can work out a trip.
Let's talk about the number 10, Pure Shot, first-time starter for Steve Asmussen. This is a grandson of Speightstown. The sire Fast Bullet was a fast horse. We haven't seen too many Fast Bullets yet. What do you think we're going to get out of him as a stallion?
I think he's going to sire speed. He was a brilliantly fast horse, grade 2 winner himself. A lot of the mares that were bred to him were sprint type mares. This one, Pure Shot, definitely comes from a family with a juvenile ability. Dam won at ages 2 and 3, and this one's a half to Dream of Me, who is a multiple stakes winner in the Florida Sire Series.
Wouldn't be surprised if this one is a fast one. Speed on top of speed in this pedigree for a super trainer in Asmussen. What a fun race this is. Pedigree on top of pedigree, great connections. This is what Saratoga 2-year-old racing is all about. Where are you heading?
Well, I'm going to be watching Variant Perception the closest. I believe in this family and both sides of it. Everything from this family seems to run great connections. I think this is a horse with a lot of class, and we're going to see if he comes out with that class or if he does need to develop. I certainly wouldn't leave Super Sherman off your tickets for those connections. And I am going to look for a little bit of value with First Warrior from that good 2-year-old, good speed family, a sale price that indicates he's precocious. And I think Watt will really move forward off his debut at a price.
Boy, like you, I can't wait to see what we're going to get from the number 6 Variant Perception. I have a feeling he's going to take a lot of money. I'd really like to see him run well with that tremendous catalog page. Maybe not a ton of value, but I'm expecting a really good performance. I think Bourbon Currency, the number 9, will improve off his career debut. A solid enough effort, 64 Beyer speed figure, can certainly build on that one. Maybe underneath the other Chad Brown train runner, Allured, who cost a bundle earlier this year, and Tweeter in Chief with a late run for Ian Wilkes maybe gets a piece. So I'll go 6-9-7-3 in Saturday's Spa Baby Race, race number 5, and it's presented by WinStar Farm.